scored one big return this year. This is a special teams unit that, along with their defense, is keeping the Tigers in this playoff chase. This has been a far from pretty first 4 games here for Riverside, but that special teams among the best in the junior college ranks. 1:06 to go. Camacho tees it off. We're just about ready to begin kickoff here. He'll approach and sends it away. A deep end over end kick. And it'll be taken at the goal line. And a kneel back will be signaled and made.
Smart play
by Ramaje Williams. 1:06 to go. El Camino trails by 3.
El Camino is going to come out in what's called in the NFL the 2-minute warning offense, a no-huddle type of approach to the game where they're going to try to get huge chunks of yards quickly and as fast as possible. It will be sweet for them to come away with at least 3 points and tie this one into the half.
What junior college football does, along with the NCAA, is when you move the chains, the clock stops. And El Camino also has 1 timeout in the back pocket. 1:06 to go, Tigers 10 and the Warriors 7. The play clock moves under 25. El Camino with Joey Notch at quarterback, 0 points offensively, and they start from their own 25. Back to throw. Notch fires far side, and the pass is hauled in for a pickup of 9. Solid completion against one of our main cornerbacks, Ray Ford. That'll be a 9-yard pickup.
Ray Ford is another lockdown type of a guy right there. Obviously all over that wide receiver, poking that ball away. Good job.
The referees are highly frustrating for me. They called that a completion, then they waved it off about 10 seconds later. Incomplete pass. Ray Ford, 101 against a solid receiver for them, Nicholas Roos, who nearly had the touchdown in the first quarter. 56 seconds to go now. Shotgun snap goes Notch. Back to throw. Looking. Hoists it deep over the middle, has a man, and it's incomplete.
Oh, no.
Another drop by El Camino, and that was a touchdown, Dan.
That was a touchdown. That's as easy as it's going to get tonight. You're not going to get another opportunity on this Riverside defense. Should have been caught right there, brother. Come on.
Devontae Jenkins, who has had a stalwart performance for El Camino this year, 20 receptions, leading the team, 2 touchdown catches, and nearly had a third. Riverside, for being such a stalwart defense, why in the world do you let a guy go behind you in the secondary on that play? 51 seconds to go.
They were looking for routes to the outside, and they bid on that. The safeties weren't there to help for the pass over the top.
Yeah, between the hashes as well. Pump fake, Notch looking left, fires that way into double coverage.
Wow.
And completion, but did he get in bounds? And he did. Devontae Jenkins with a 25-yard completion. And he's saying, look, Mom, one hand as he snags that one on the sideline.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I was watching Devontae before the game, and he was grabbing him one-handedly easily.
Devontae Jackson, he is the bounce back from Tennessee University at wide receiver, and he has now 21 catches for over 250 yards and 2 touchdowns this year. Clock keeps moving, 44. Zings it over the middle, and it's nearly intercepted by Treshawn Broughton, and he's kicking himself. He could have had a pick.
Yeah, Treshawn right there, acting like he always does. Lockdown.
The Marietta Valley product, only a freshman for Riverside. We'll love to have Treshawn Broughton back next year for that Riverside secondary. Notch slings near side, and the pass is complete, but knocked out of bounds is Thaddeus Lagrone, a 5-yard pickup. 36 on the clock. El Camino nearing halftime, but they're on the move. A drive that started from their own 25.
Conservative call right there. You just want to get a few yards, hopefully get yourself in the field goal range. Only getting 5 yards to the pass to the outside, far side.
Michael Simmons is the man in the slot. Devontae Jackson and number 19, Davian Goodall, are the wide receivers. 3rd down and 5. Notch looking, fires over the middle. It's incomplete. There should be a flag, but there isn't, as Terrence Solomon pushed the receiver before the ball got there. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, he got away with one, but they'll take it, right? I mean, 4th down now, 4th and 5.
I'm sure Riverside, they're kicking themselves because of the referees. A lot of ticky-tack calls against Riverside, but on that one, that should have been a penalty for a 1st down. Nevertheless, El Camino stalls after a 30-yard drive that looked like it had the makings of a touchdown. Nearly had one on a deep play to Davian Jackson. Should have been a TD, but instead Riverside, barring a miscue, they will hold El Camino scoreless offensively heading into halftime. Thaddeus Legron signals fair catch, and the catch is made, at the 10-yard line. 24 seconds to go, and Riverside expect them to run out the remainder of this clock, despite 3 timeouts and leading by 3.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I don't trust this Riverside offense, frankly. And what they got to do now is either kneel it or just hand it off to Foster and see if he pops one out for a huge gain.
This is a crowd that far more empty seats this week than last. Wheelock Stadium could hold over 3,000, and last home game that they had, week 1 against Bakersfield, every seat was full, not against this conference game against El Camino, but the minimal amount of attendance that is here, maybe around 2,000 seats full. They're watching a Riverside team that, in a defensive slugfest, hold a 10-7 lead. Nicholas King on the Wildcat, scurries across the 20 and has room. 30, 35, 40, outside the numbers to the 42-yard line, and Tom Kraft has to call a timeout and does with 14 seconds to go.
Wow. Yeah, they decide to go to the run, and if they get tackled, well, go ahead and run out the clock. But now that you got a huge gain there,
22 yards,
you got to start thinking points. And so Riverside now would try to strategize something on their behalf and get some points. Let's see if they do that, though.
It speaks volumes to Kelly Helinski that is rooting on his team, his offense, despite him not being in the game. He was the starter for 3 weeks, and Helinski is on, but he may be the backup quarterback for the time being here in this game against El Camino. Only 14 seconds to go. And, Dan, that offense finally getting a big play on the ground.
Yeah, like I said, the hot hand, Nicholas King, doing it all. Completing a few passes, intermediate passes, not causing any turnovers, which is the key right now. Don't do any turnovers, man.
Right.
And so Nicholas King protecting the ball and definitely using his speed to his advantage right there. Huge chunk, first down.
This was far from expected for this Riverside offense, despite Kelly Helinski facing a partially torn rotator cuff. He's out of the game. Nicholas King off the 22-yard scamper by the quarterback is still on. A 4-wide set. Isaac Whitney with 0 catches today following 13 last week. He's pushed out to the near-hand side. First down and 10 from their own 43. Shotgun snap. Nicholas King looking. Pass rush coming. Evades one man. Fires on the run and has the grab. Isaac Whitney inside the 40. Where have you been the entire first half? He's out to the 35-yard line.
Right there, Nicholas King avoiding the pass rush, using his speed to step up into the pocket and firing down to the sideline. Unfortunately, Isaac Whitney didn't go out of bounds. Should have just gone out of bounds. Now there's 4 seconds on the clock.
Call a timeout. You got to call a timeout here,
definitely
and Tom
will.
Kraft will. 4 seconds to go. My apologies. Darius Hunter made the grab for Riverside. Still 0. Yeah, that's not going to go into halftime. Tom Kraft called timeout. But
yeah, he did.
With 4 seconds to go, Riverside has a 1st and 10 at the 35. It'd be a 53-yard field goal try. Do you give Jimmy Camacho a chance?
I wouldn't. I'd take a heave to the end zone. Hail Mary status.
Yeah, his longest field goal attempt is around 38. Looking at practice, his range is maximum a 45-yard try. Camacho, an accurate kicker.
And not downplaying him. We're not at all. It's just...
I think we have one of the best special teams, but this is junior college. I mean, this is far from the kicking that we see in the NFL. Instead, Jimmy Camacho, who we could see at the next level in the next few years in the NCAA, ranks number 3 in California, not half bad in kicking. He, with 4 seconds to go, will watch his offense from the sideline. We have whistles and a potential timeout called by El Camino, and it is.
Yeah, El Camino's got to strategize, and Coach Featherstone, he's got to go talk to his defensive backs especially and tell them, hey, expect the Hail Mary. Bat that ball down if it comes your way. Don't try to catch it. It could cause a deflection, and that's not something you want to come out with. Touchdown scored on you with 4 seconds left on a Hail Mary. Pretty much a miracle play.
Yeah, El Camino has been such an amazing defense, and they have held Riverside, who averaged over 40 points per game, to only 3 on the offensive end heading into halftime. But if they allow this touchdown, they're going to end up kicking a field goal here, a 52-yard try.
The trust in Jimmy Camacho, I like it. Let's see this. This is really interesting now.
Crowd on its feet here, the final play of the half. Jimmy Camacho from the right hash. Hold will be by Helinski. A 53-yard try. Snap ball down. Has the distance. It's drifting. Looks like it's short. And it is. No good. But just underneath and Jimmy Camacho. No harm, no foul. We head to halftime, 10-7, Riverside on top.
Riverside City College Tigers 10, the El Camino Warriors 7. Halftime, and the snack bar is open. They've got pasta with chicken, pasta with meatballs, cheeseburgers, hamburgers, nachos, assortment of funnel cakes. They got the Jay's Ice, the Kona Ice, Taco Joe's, all that right here at Riverside City College halftime.
Thank you for joining us here on Spreaker.com. We'll, in a moment, get you scores from around the Junior College Football League, along with statistics from this game. But, Dan, your takeaway very quickly on the first half. Riverside leads 10-7 at the break.
It's been a defensive story, a defensive type of game, slow, sloppy on the offensive sides. Not exactly what I was expecting. Both teams averaging just about 30 points per game. At this pace, they won't even get to 20. And so the story, again, has got to be pointed at the Riverside defense. And, Nick, what do you got for us?
Wow, well, for those of you that are familiar with the junior college ranks, Long Beach and Mount Sac are the two top organizations in Southern California. Riverside trying to vie their way to be among them. Well, currently, Long Beach edging Mount Sac, score near halftime with 4:09 to go second quarters, 26-14. Long Beach on top.
How about we do scores right now? Let's see what's going on. I'm curious to see how the competition is stacking up.
Well, Cerritos is another ball club in our division. They are a half game behind Riverside in the divisional standings, and they lead 20-9. So if that score holds, Riverside has to continue to win, partner, if they expect to go into week number 6 with a third place start here in the National Central Conference. Moving on, of course, 10-7, Riverside at the half. But for other scores around the JUCO world, we are tied at 28 between Reedley and Fresno, a couple of premier organizations out of the north. Feather River trails Shasta 34-3 at halftime out of the north as well. Moving over to other scores, Grossmont College, the team that was our lone loss last year. Well, they're on their way to yet another. In fact, they are a 41-24 defeat to the hands of Palomar College, and now they fall to 2-3 on this young junior college season, following the big win by Riverside, 2 straight losses by that Grossmont Griffins football team. Other scores, Santa Monica, they are victors for just the third time this season, edging over Glendale College 48-31. El Camino Compton Center, 66-2. They lose to MSJC. Mount San Jacinto improves to 3-2 in their respective division. Other scores, Santa Barbara, they faced a real tough test against LA Southwest, 30-18 our score, and that is a final between Santa Barbara and LA Southwest. It was LA Southwest lead heading into halftime, yet Santa Barbara was able to edge out of them. Butte College, a football team that many pegged as the #1 ball club in California. They have a 1-point win out of winless San Joaquin Delta on the road at Stockton, California. And they were well on their way to their 3rd loss of the season, Dan, and that would be 3 out of the last 4. It has been a disappointing year by Butte College, home of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Many regard him as one of the best Green Bay quarterbacks of all time. And final score out of the north, San Francisco, who, according to our main man, Chris Sylvester, who does Friday Night Lights here for us with St. John Bosco, they win 66-29. San Francisco improves to 5-0 in a young junior college season.
So with the scores you gave me, I instantly think about the rankings. I'm instantly talking about the movement that's going to occur in the rankings. I mean, if Mount Sac ends up losing, they're going to drop from their #2 spot. So that's the biggest question mark for me.
Well, San Francisco, who's ranked #1, they will stay in #1 because of the win. They never does the CCCAA, especially this early, do they move football teams while they still win. Meanwhile, to take a further look at this, I would like to see American River. They won, so they should be the #9 now 2-team if Mount Sac wins. But how about a number of stalwart ball clubs losing? Fullerton, they do have a bye, but San Francisco barely won in their matchup. Number 5 Long Beach and Mount Sac are jostling there, and we could look at Riverside with a win, climb up the rankings in the JUCO mark.
I would instantly put them at number 5.
Right, with a win, with a ball game
only
like
because
this.
of their defense.
Right.